get started. Welcome, friends and neighbors, to the Town of Easton's 2025 Memorial Day Parade and Ceremony here at Veterans Memorial Park. With me, as always, is Vice Commander Teresa Pariki-Poole of American Legion Post 7. Also in attendance, we have Select Board Chair Dottie Fuginetti, Select Board Vice Chair Craig Barger, Select Board members Mark Lamb and Jennifer Stacy. The sound of drums, footsteps, and music remind us that Memorial Day is more than a moment. It's a living tribute. And now here, in the quiet of Veterans Memorial Park, we take that tribute to heart. Our community, like so many others across this great nation, pause to remember the men and women who gave their lives in service to our country. They were soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. They came from towns like ours, quiet streets, close-knit neighborhoods. They sat where we sat. They dreamed the same dreams we dream. And when the call came, they stood up, put their uniform on, and served their country with honor. Some never made it back home. They left behind families, friendships, and future. And yet, in their absence, they gave us something immeasurable: the gift of freedom, the safety of our homes, and the peace we too often take for granted. Let us remember that freedom is not free. It is paid for by the courage of those who stood their ground in the face of danger, who fought in far-off lands, who stormed beaches, flew through hostile skies, sailed into uncertain waters. And they did not ask what they would gain, but what they could give. Memorial Day is not only about looking back, it's about carrying forward their values of courage, service, duty, and love of country. It's about living in the way that honors their sacrifice. It's in the way that we take care of each other, support our veterans, lend a hand to those in need, and raise our children to understand the true cost of freedom. Today, we also recognize the families who bear the burden of that sacrifice. The empty chair at the dinner table, the quiet birthdays, the memories held close because the future was taken too soon. Their grief is a reflection of their love, and this nation will never forget what they have endured. As we lay our wreaths, raise our flags, and speak the names aloud, let us also make a promise that we live lives worthy of their sacrifice, that we will cherish the freedom they secured, that we will all serve our community, our neighbors, and fellow Americans in that same spirit of selflessness. May their courage inspire us, may their memory sustain us, and may we, the living, carry forward the legacy they left behind with honor, humility, and unwavering resolve. To the young people here today, remember what you saw and felt this morning. Carry it with you. Memorial Day isn't about history, it's about the future. It's about the kind of people we choose to be, grateful, united, and never forgetful. As we leave this place, let us carry with us the memory of the fallen, and the gratitude we feel, and the commitment to be a community worthy of their sacrifice. May God bless those who lost. May He comfort those they left behind. And may He continue to bless the Town of Easton and the United States of America. Thank you. I would now like to ask the Scouts to come up and to lead us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I'd like to invite Pastor Ryan of the Covenant Congregational Church to lead us in the prayer, please.
Thank you. Let's pray. Gracious God, on this Memorial Day, we gather to remember and to give thanks for those who have given their lives in service of this country. When the need was greatest, they did not hesitate to do their duty to defend the freedoms that we enjoy and to win the same for others. O God, you yourself have taught us that no love is greater than the one who freely sacrifices for another. These honored dead gave the most precious gift they had, life itself, for loved ones and neighbors, for comrades and country, and for each of us here today. Help us, O Lord, to honor their memory by caring for the family members they have left behind, by ensuring that the wounded comrades are properly cared for, by being watchful caretakers of freedoms for which they gave their lives, and to strive for the day when no other young women or men follow them to a soldier's grave. Until that blessed day, give us the strength and perseverance to bear these days when the soldiers still bravely fall, when the reasons are deemed worthy and the causes are for justice. O Holy One, help us to remember that freedom is not free. There are times when its cost is indeed dear. Never let us forget those who paid so dearly to ensure the freedom would be our legacy. Though their names may fade with the passing of generations, we will never forget what they have done. Help us to be worthy of their sacrifices. Help us to be worthy. Amen.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome Sean O'Rourke. Come up to the podium, please. Sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please welcome Select Board Vice Chair Craig Barger to read the proclamation.
Good morning. Whereas while the nation was still recovering from the Civil War, people in cities and towns across the country gathered to honor the soldiers who had given their lives celebrating the first Decoration Day. And whereas after World War I, the nation came together again to honor those who had fallen in the service of their country. Renamed Memorial Day, the last Monday in May is when people remember and honor the memory of all the men and women who fought and died in all American wars and conflicts. And whereas throughout our country's history, thousands of Massachusetts residents have fought in wars and conflicts to defend our safety and way of life. And whereas their legacy of patriotism and dedication to country is an inspiration to all Americans. And whereas it is appropriate that all Massachusetts residents remember the bravery of those who gave their lives so that their sacrifice serve as a reminder of the cost of our freedom. Now, therefore, I, Maura T. Healy, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim May 26, 2025 to be Memorial Day, and urge all residents of the Commonwealth to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observation. Given at the Executive Chamber in Boston, this 26th day of May in the year 2025, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 248th year, signed by Maura T. Healy, Kimberly Driscoll, and William Galvin.
Thank you, Craig. Please welcome Ms. Ann DeSanto to sing a selection for us.
In the sweet light of the valley, where the sun falls upon the pine, I shall lay down all of my troubles, and I lift up this heart of mine. Take me home, Lord, oh, take me home. O'er the hillside and o'er the sea, to the soft grass of the valley, where your grace shall set me free. Through the shadow of the darkness, through the storms that lead me astray, I shall travel forever knowing in your light I'll always stay. Take me home, Lord, oh, take me home. O'er the hillside and o'er the sea, to the soft grass of the dark valley, where your grace shall set me free. Take me home, Lord, oh, take me home. O'er the hillside and o'er the sea, to the soft grass of the valley, where your grace shall set me free. To the soft grass of the valley, where your grace shall set me free.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to ask Select Board Chair Donnie Fuginetti to lay the wreath. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Mr. Ed Hands to come up to the podium, talk a little bit about the history of Easton in Memorial Day.
Well, thank you so much for coming out today. It's a beautiful day. We have a big, giant parade coming in 2 weeks, and why are you here? And the answer, I think, is you're keeping the faith with people who have sacrificed their lives to build our country. And you guys, as well as they, are a big link in this chain. The monuments like we're standing in front of today help us remember. And Easton, unlike many other towns, has a lot of monuments to help you remember. From the Civil War monument at the end of Center Street to the gigantic rockery. And finally, this year, after 250 years, we're going to have a memorial dedicated in the fall for the men who fought in the Revolutionary War, our first responders.
So memorials are a particular place. I often come here from the Historical Society just to sit in quiet contemplation of the sacrifice that these people made. And I'd like to point out that America is unique in the world with a philosophy of no soldier left behind. Soldiers, since the Spanish-American War, have been brought back to the United States to go to military cemeteries or home cemeteries, and we make exceptional efforts. And I'd like to tell you a story about that. It has an Easton connection, if you bear with me. And that connection relates to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier at Arlington National Cemetery. Arlington National Cemetery and all national cemeteries were begun as a program in 1862 when local cemeteries could no longer hold the dead from the Civil War. Arlington became a national cemetery in 1864. Sadly, just like our country, it was a segregated cemetery until 1948. Segregated both by race and by rank. It's no longer that way, thanks to President Harry Truman. In 1866, we became the first country in the world to dedicate a memorial to unknown soldiers. And it's not the one you're thinking of. It was the very first memorial to Civil War dead, both Confederate and Union, who were unknown and buried within 25 miles of the cemetery. This is called the Tomb of the Civil War Unknowns, and it was the first tomb for unknown, unidentified soldiers in the world. In 1868, Memorial Day was first celebrated at Arlington Cemetery, and that, first of all, popularized the holiday we celebrate today, or commemorate today, and at the same time built the fame of Arlington Cemetery above all the other cemeteries. And then finally, in 1899, the government made the pledge to repatriate any war dead from overseas that could be reached. That was unusual because in World War I, neither the British nor the French would repatriate any of their citizens. They decided in 1920 to bring back one unknown soldier for each of the countries. And that reminded us here in the United States that while we were looking for soldiers on the cemeteries and battlefields of World War I, we could do an unknown soldier as well. And the process is too detailed to go into here, but a soldier who had been buried in one of the cemeteries in France was chosen at random and brought back to the United States. That occurred on November 9th, 1921. We're almost getting to the part where Easton comes in. Because during the war, Winthrop Ames, who lived over at Queeset House, belongs to the library today, and his wife were extremely active in supporting the troops. Winthrop formed something called the Over There Theater Company for the YMCA that provided recreation as close to the fighting lines as possible for the boys. He was a Broadway producer, so he knew a lot of people, and he got them to come over and perform for the kids. He wasn't above doing a little talent scouting. He also auditioned the 369th band of 369th Infantry Hellfighters, which was an all-black regiment who played jazz instead of march. And that was one of the ways that jazz became popular in the 1920s. His wife did all the wifely things, wrapped bandages for the Red Cross, and sewed, actually bought a sewing machine to make socks every day. And ultimately, when Winthrop was going to go overseas, she insisted on going with him. And her good works continued throughout the war. So when it came time to dedicate the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, Lucy Ames, Winthrop's wife, was given the honor of joining the YMCA dedication group to go and lay a wreath on the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. He was lying in state in the Capitol Rotunda, an honor that had previously only been given to politicians, in fact, only to presidents. And for about 9 hours, people were allowed to pass by as others laid wreaths. One of those wreath layings was the YMCA group. 90,000 people walked by the tomb of the unknown soldier. This was the biggest news in America at the time, because they, like you guys today, wanted to keep the faith and show support for the troops. There were so many wreaths that were laid that there was a detail of soldiers that every hour came along and took those wreaths off so more wreaths could be laid. The Y laid their wreath, and the women retired to march in their parade the next day. And a horse-drawn caisson carried the soldier through the streets of Washington, followed by the YMCA members and a bunch of other people, and went all the way over to Arlington Cemetery. And if you've been to Washington, you know that's not a short route. The president was there to lay the Congressional Medal of Honor on the tomb and deliver a eulogy. Poor Lucy, who had spent all this time getting down to Washington and laying the wreath and marching in the parade, never saw the dedication. She fainted. Something that I think probably some of us were thinking about today as we're marching along, each year older and older. But not only did the unknown soldier get the Medal of Honor, he got the Croix de Guerre, he got British awards, he got all these awards. And then at the end of the ceremony, a Native American warrior, a chief, came and laid his weapons on the tomb to indicate all Americans were behind this dedication. Very quickly, he was buried. There was a 2-minute national moment of silence. Radios went off and people stood around and honored this unknown soldier. Subsequently, there have been unknown soldiers for World War II, Korea, and for a short time, between 1984 and 1998, a unknown soldier for Vietnam. Currently, there is no unknown soldier for Vietnam because, luckily, with science and DNA testing, the previous holder of the record was actually identified and brought home to his family. So right now, the tomb of the unknown soldier from Vietnam remains open as a dedication to the fact that there are still soldiers from Vietnam who are missing in action, and we're not going to stop looking for them. So again, thank you. You're part of a great chain of being from the Revolutionary War to today. You're part of the country. Thank you, people behind me, for your service, and people further behind me for their sacrifice, those gold stars there. So keep the faith. God bless America, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Ed. Next, I'd like to welcome Select Board Chair Dottie Fujinati. Come up and say a few words, please.
Thank you, Jason, for putting on this beautiful day today. And for everybody who came out, Easton is such an amazing community, and days like this are really what it's all about when you look around and you see your friends and your neighbors and everyone here to come together to celebrate and honor the people before us that really sacrificed so that we could live in a beautiful community like this, a beautiful state like this, and a wonderful country. I think very often about the people that serve in peacetime and unrest and war, and especially this time, in this day and age where we have such global unrest, and our young people are out there putting their lives on the line for us every day so that we can have peace in this country. And it's a beautiful day to reflect on those who have gone before us to make the ultimate sacrifice. As a daughter of a Navy veteran and a mother of a Navy veteran, it's an honor for me to be here every year and see this outpouring of support. It's a memory I'll always treasure and keep with me in my heart, and thank you all for being part of it.
Thank you, Dottie. All right, next I'd like to ask the band to play a selection. Thank you. Next up, I'd like to have Teresa and Matt do the roll call of war dead.
First, I'd like to let you know that recently, back in 2022, the Sons of the American Revolution came to Easton. They identified 5 Revolutionary War patriots. They honored their grave with a ceremony, and we're going to read the names of the 5 Revolutionary War veterans. They're in the cemetery over on Highland Street. Their names are James Perry, Edward Williams, Thomas Drake, Abisha Leach, and Alexander Keith.
As we get into the Civil War, we have Charles Bellows, Martin Cunningham, Daniel Donovan, Thomas Duffy, Samuel Gilmore, John Haney, Granville Howard, William Lothrop, Theodore Mitchell, James McCullough, John Phillips, Seth Ramsdell, Peleg Randall, Michael Roach, Albert Tilden, Charles Torrey, Benjamin Boudry, Major Crockett, Henry Drew, Seth Dunbar, Franklin Godfrey, Edward Hansel, James Humphrey, Calvin Marshall, John Mullen, Hosea Packard, Minot Phillips, Ansel Randall, Phineas Randall, Richard Severs, George Tilden, Charles Willis, Charles Britton, George Davis, John Duffy, Jason Eldridge, John Gouling, Mason Hill, Addison Lothrop, Michael Millerick, Patrick McCount, William Packard, Frank Poole, John Randall, John Richards, Cornelius Slattery, and Manly Tinkham.
World War I. Winfield Skidmore Knowles, George Searle Shepard, Private George Francis Schindler, Second Lieutenant Oliver Ames Jr., Jeremiah Sullivan, Chester Rice Smith, Lawrence Howard Swift, George Philip Workman, Camp Devens, and now Matt will read World War II.
World War II, we have Patrick Shea, Oliver Ames Parker, Frank Hewitt, Anthony Pontes, Robert Hagland, John Texera, Albert Ham, Stanley Smith, Evan Sharp, Anthony Souza, Robert Chisholm, Paul Farrell, Brian Nolan, and Robert Fernandez.
Korean War veterans, Robert F. Thompson.
Vietnam War, we have Edward Smith, Robert J. Todd, and Lieutenant Kenneth Scully.
We also have veterans who gave their lives in service to their country: Leo P. Haley, James T. Victoria, Owen M. McElrooney, Elisa L. Trenholm, Sean M. Turco, Richard C. Tucker, Staff Sergeant William J. Callahan. If you could take a moment to reflect on them, please remove your cap and we'll have a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to ask two members of the band to come up, Maxwell Sue and Jordan Etow, to play taps. Next up, the American Legion Post Vice Commander, Teresa Pariki Poole, to read Flanders Field in Vermont.
In Flanders Field by John McCrae. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep though poppies grow in Flanders field.
Thank you. And now a final selection from Ann DeSanto.
Thank you. With grateful hearts, let us all join in the singing of God Bless America. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Thank you, Ann. All right. Thank you all for being here today to honor yet another Memorial Day. I'd like to thank ECAT for being here to film and broadcast the ceremony. I'd also like to thank Easton Department of Public Works, Fire Department, Police Department, and the Ames Oliver High School Band for their support at this event. Thank you all. We are so grateful for your service. This concludes the Town of Easton's 2025 Memorial Day ceremony. Thanks.